And that brings us to 12 minutes to 9. All primary school-aged children should be given free meals to help tackle the obesity crisis. That is according to a group of health experts, including the Royal College of Paediatricians and Child Health. And Professor Steve Taylor is on the line, who is the president of that college. Good morning to you.
Justin, good morning.
What would the impact be?
I think the impact would be on a number of different levels. For children themselves, who are obviously the most important in all this, it would mean that we'd be able to be sure that they'd be having at least one warm, nutritious meal every school day, which is a big thing. We know that if you feed children, and to be fair, adults as well, they generally work better, they think better, they behave better, and in the school environment, they learn better. You've previously mentioned that it will have an impact on obesity. It's not going to solve obesity overnight, but it will have an impact. It'll also probably have an impact on dental health. The biggest reason for children needing to come into hospital is to have the rotten teeth pulled out, and that's all related to diet. And finally, the bigger picture is that children are our foundation as a society, and I think that this would be a statement that we, as a society, value our children and want to do our best for children.
We kind of do it in parts of the UK, don't we? So in Wales, all primary school children, Scotland, all children until they're 9. And of course, there's a scheme in London as well. We've regularly talked to Labour people about this in the past, including to Keir Starmer, actually, on this programme, who wouldn't commit to it. This is before the election. Do you get any... I mean, what do you say to the government? Because, my goodness, well, we spent most of the last 3 hours talking about commitments they ought to be making, according to various groups. What do you say to them about this one?
Well, I would obviously advocate it. I think it is the kind thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do. And I think it's the sensible thing to do.
Do you have a sense of what the cost would be?
Now, that I cannot answer. I suspect that depending on who you ask, you might get lots of different questions. Answers. It depends on what the cost is. So there will be a numerical financial cost in the short term, but in the long term, there will be benefits to that. So it depends really over how long you're wanting to work out.
But that, that in itself is a fascinating answer, isn't it? Because we were hearing exactly the same about prison reform about 50 minutes or so ago, that actually there is an immediate cost. Of course there is, but the long-term savings, but they might not be savings to the same budget, etc., etc. And that's where the difficulties for politicians, I suppose, come in.
You're not wrong. You're almost answering my question for me. But no, you're right. And you can link the two together. We know that a third of people who are in prison were children who were looked after by the state. So if you're wanting to relieve the burden on prisons, you could look at early intervention and prevention in children. As I said before, children are our foundation. If we get it right in our children, things will get a lot better. But as you've pointed out, you need to have a long-term investment strategy as a government.
Professor Steve Turner, President of the Royal College of Paediatricians and Child Health. Thank you.